welcome back to another healthy keto eating show. Great to be back in doing another video with you guys. Now you would have gotten this video, the slideshow of this cheeseburger pizza yesterday, and I thought again I would go ahead and do a video for you guys, chatting, telling you some more information on keto, and just, you know, being behind the camera saying hi to all of you guys. I wish I could do like with the slideshow and then maybe I've done a different one today for you guys for eating, but I just really wanted to share this one on film because my husband had ate before me and he said it was delicious. And so I thought, well, I'm going to do a video on film and give you my opinion too. So I'm excited. Now, you know, I did a burger pizza the other day. I did that Alfredo spinach hamburger pizza, and it just made me think, you know what? I want to do a bacon cheeseburger pizza. And this one looks so delicious. I'm excited. You would have seen the slideshow yesterday, how to make it and how delicious it looked. And so, yeah, I'm excited to eat it. Of course, I'm doing both videos in the same day, but you get two separate videos. So, yeah, I'm excited. It's got, just like what a cheeseburger would have, onions, pickles, ketchup and mustard. Of course, the ketchup is sugar-free. And then it's got the cheese, the little bit of lettuce on top. You know the video because you would have already heard, let it cool down before you put the lettuce on top. The lettuce is optional. You don't have to put it on, but it just makes that a full cheeseburger then. So, but the sauce, instead of being a pizza sauce, like my first one I did Alfredo sauce, said you could use a pizza sauce if you wanted to. This one, because it's a bacon cheeseburger pizza, we're doing ketchup and mustard as the sauce. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And then we're just doing a iceberg salad on the side with ranch dressing and a little Parmesan cheese. And the total carb count for my plate is 5 carbs. Incredible, huh? Even counting the salad and the dressing. The whole pizza itself was like 9 carbs, and it's split 4 ways this time because it was a little bit bigger. Now I did go with the lower lean meat to show you guys how to lower that. I went with like a it was like a 90% lean, I think it was. It was a pretty lean one. Now, in the first one, I used a pizza pan. I made a mistake on that one. You want to use a cookie sheet so you have that little bit of ridge because of the grease. Now, the grease didn't pour over on my pizza pan, thank God, but it was getting close to it. So don't use a pizza pan. I explained that in my slideshow yesterday. Use a cookie sheet to do it. And this one, of course, had less grease, but I still did, you know, drain the grease off. I show you the picture of that. Well, you've seen that. Yeah, it's because it's a lower lean meat. This one would be better for you to use to lower the fat on it, or you could use ground turkey, but use a cookie sheet so you have that little ridge so that the grease doesn't spill over because you're cooking hamburger. So yeah, I made that mistake in the first one. It was just my first time trying it out, so I didn't think about that. But yeah, then drain the grease off, and then to make this lower, the only thing I would think is to not use the orange cheese. Use just the mozzarella, and I used a half cup of mozzarella and a half cup of the orange cheese, or was it a full cup of the orange cheese. So you want to do just a full cup of mozzarella, which is going to save you on fat there. And then the salad, it's got the ranch dressing, so that's going to have the fat in it. So you could go without the salad and do like a veggie on the side with some Parmesan cheese. That would be fine too, without using the butter, you know, or the dressings like I teach you guys. And of course, the lowest lean meat ever, draining the grease off, and then, or use ground turkey in place of it would be very delicious. That's the only thing I can think of to lower this one because pickles wouldn't be high, onions wouldn't be high, lettuce wouldn't be high, the ketchup and mustard wouldn't be high. So other than the meat and the cheese, and if you use a lower lean meat or a ground turkey, that's going to be lower. And don't use the orange cheese. I'm using that because I'm doing a bacon, you know, a bacon cheddar pizza done hamburger way, but it would still taste just as good with just the mozzarella cheese. I do know that. So that's how I would suggest lowering it, and just do a veggie on the side. You could do broccoli, you could do cauliflower, you could do spinach. Well, spinach, that's more a salad. You could do Brussels sprouts or asparagus like that, and just put Parmesan cheese. Don't even do the butter or nothing. Just cook it, you know, just steam it in the microwave, and then just put a little, you know, Parmesan, because Parmesan is the lowest in cheese. So you could add some Parmesan to your pizza too, but I don't know, being a bacon cheeseburger, if you'd want the Parmesan, I'm not sure. People can have it any way they want. And I am doing a Zevia. My husband found a new flavor, strawberry. I've had it, it's delicious. Zevia is the one soda that it's true keto. That one is done with Let's see here. It's carbonated water, citric acid, natural flavors, stevia leaf extract. That is how it is sweetened. There's no sucrose, no aspartame, none of it. The stevia is the best. I do love it. I love that they're coming out with different flavors. I know my good friend Jennifer said that there's another one that she said is cream soda, so that's a great one. I haven't tried that one yet. I haven't been able to find it. I'm sorry if you hear the background. I got laundry going, so I hope you can still hear me okay. But now my husband found strawberry. They have, so far I know they have root beer, black cherry, cola, which I don't do the cola because of the caffeine. My girlfriend Jennifer said they have cream soda, and now they have the strawberry. I'm sure they're going to come out with many flavors. I really like the strawberry one. And it's so great when you have this because you know you're doing true keto then with the soda. So I'm doing that today with my dinner, doing the strawberry flavored Zevia. Really good. You can really taste that strawberry in it. So, how is everybody doing? Great to see all of you guys. Great to be back in. We're going to go ahead and try a bite here, and let's see if it tastes like true bacon cheeseburger. That is good. So funny how your mind tells you it's pizza just because it's shaped like a pizza and the way you dressed it and everything. It does. It tastes like a pizza. Definitely, they make a cheeseburger pizza, and that's what it tastes like. And it's funny how the crust is just meat. Now, what you could do if a person doesn't like to do hamburger as the crust, you definitely could do almond flour and do the recipe like when I do my matzo balls. You want it thicker like that so you can, roll it out with a rolling pin and have a nice crust. And then take your hamburger, crumble it up after you cook it, and just have it crumbled up hamburger with the onions, the pickles, the ketchup, the mustard, all that. So you could do it with an actual crust. You could use those Joseph wraps. I don't recommend those always because they're not true keto, but you could use that as a flat crust pizza and dress it up as a bacon cheeseburger pizza. I think I did a video on that one time. But to get it, really true keto, you can do the almond flour as your crust and, do it the same way, but now your burger is going to be crumbled up on it, or you can use, like I did here, as your burger as the crust. Because some of you out there can't have almond flour. You're allergic to nuts, so you can't have it. So, and I don't know really some people say coconut flour. I'm not sure on coconut flour if it's true keto. I think it's a little bit high on carb. So that would be the best thing that I would suggest is using an almond flour if you can. If you can't, maybe you could, then just use the hamburger as your crust, That's how you do it. Or you could use that flatbread Joseph wraps. Those you could do too. Would be a higher carb count because just for a half of one of those is like 6 total carbs or 6 net carbs. I think net carbs. It's 6 net, so it's pretty high. So... And you would only need a half, it would make enough, so a whole one, but then you got to add that to that. So now you're making this like around 11 carbs then total. So it'd be a little bit more carbier. But definitely if you're only doing 1 meal, maybe 2 meals, you could have that, so just be careful. But those are the only ways I could think of to do a crust. And there are other ways to do crust. Different ingredients. I just got to look into it more. I would like to figure out more crust myself, But I love this. Look at this. Doesn't that look delicious? Cheeseburger, pizza, it's so good with the pickles. And onions. It does. It tastes like you got that illusion in your brain like a pizza, but it tastes like a bunless burger, It's so yummy. I love it. Yum. And then just have a little salad on the side here. I just wanted a simple iceberg salad. I love pizza and salad together. So, but for those of you that are new to my channel, I always teach that there are different forms of doing keto. Everybody does not do keto the same. Everybody does not have the same macro for fat macros if you are trying to lose, gain, or maintain. The fat macro is always going to be different. Your protein is always going to be different because it's going to be half your current body weight, maybe even a little bit more, even more if you're working out. The only macro that you want to keep exact is 20. If you're wanting the carbs, you want to keep it at 20 or less to keep yourself in a state of ketosis. Now, if you do net carb, you're obviously going to go over 20, but you're deducting the dietary fiber or things that are sweetened with sucralose and the other sweetener we can have that. It's monk fruit, the erythritol or the stevia leaf. Those you can deduct that off of the carb count and the dietary fiber. So that's what makes it, lower, but then it makes your carb over the 20, but you're really not over, you're still 20. But you want to stay 20 or less. But I want everybody to understand that you can do 0. You do not have to eat any carbs at all. You can do 0, you can do carnivore. I was taught that, which is just basically eating meat, cheese, and eggs. You can do that too. You do not have to eat carbs at all. But to stay in a state of ketosis, which is just a big word for fat burning mode, which your body is always burning fat for fuel, you want to keep yourself in that state of ketosis. Now, there's ways of testing with the Keto Mojo. That's a blood draw that you do, but it's pretty expensive. It's like $50 for the machine, and the strips are $1 a strip. That's why it's $50. So after you get the machine, you run out of the strips, then it's $50 for the strips again, and it's $1 a strip. Or you can do it with the urine strips. You can buy those too. They're $6 for 50 strips at any local drugstore or Walmart or Target. They're called ketone strips. You urinate on them like a pregnancy test, and it just shows you the colors of how deep. As long as you are not negative, if you're a color on up, you are in ketosis. It just, the darker the color, the darker purple, it goes from pink to purple. The darker the purple, the more fat you're burning. And so what I'm always trying to teach people is when you're in this weight loss journey, if it is for weight loss, you don't look at it as a high-fat diet as in foods, okay? It's your high fat on your body. That's your energy source. So you're going to try to eat lower fat. Doesn't mean you're going to do 0. There's no way to ever do 0, especially keto. You're always going to get some fat. But where they tell you to do like 70 to 90%, that's not what you would do. You would do more like 70% fat if you're pretty much at your almost at your goal. Then you're going to go down to like 50 grams. You're going to use that body fat as much as you can. Then when you get to maintenance like me, then you will do the 70 to 80 to 90% fat grams, because now you don't have the fat and you need an energy source. But you will have all the energy you need if you have fat on your body. People need to understand that, and that's why people doing keto, either dirty keto, lazy keto, or eating super high fat, that 70 to 80 to 90%, wondering why they're not losing. They'll lose in the beginning. Anybody would lose weight if you were morbidly obese or very overweight. You could just cut out and drink diet pop and start losing weight. So just understand, but if you're going to get to a certain point where you're going to plateau out and you're going to wonder, well, what's going on? I'm following it correctly and it's not working. Well, the reason is because you need to use your body fat. Do you want, it's a fat burning diet. So do you want to burn the fat you eat and, not truly be losing all the weight you can and actually losing fat? Or do you want to lose the fat off your body and use your body fat as your high fat source? Let the body, when it's in that state of ketosis, burn and eat that fat. It also will help with, your loose skin. It'll eliminate the fat instead of just eliminating weight. On the scale, you won't even look like you're losing weight. You want to eliminate the fat that's on your body. You want it to attack the fat because that's what it is, a fat burning diet. I was taught this professionally by my keto doctor, my keto heart doctor, nutritionist that I deal with, my brother who teaches this as a job, and all the studying I've done myself. I'm over 4 years in. I lost all of my weight, over 150 pounds in 15 months. I did this. I never had any stalls, but I was in a calorie deficit from day one to the last day, and even now in maintenance. I would have been higher in the beginning for a deficit, but I did lower the fat. Then as I went down, the deficit got lower and lower for calories and lower fat. Then finally I was able to start, when I got to maintenance mode, start upping the calories and going up, but I still have to be in a deficit. My deficit ranges between 2,000 to 2,500 depending on what I'm eating, and that's where I maintain the weight out. I do the best between 18 and 2,000. That's where I do the best because it's hard for me to get all that food in. But if I'm eating higher fat foods, it's easier to get it in them because calories for protein and carb is 4 per calorie, and for fat it's 9 per calorie. So it adds up your calories quicker. It's 9 grams per serving. So it would add up quicker. So if you're cooking your food in butter and oils and stuff like that, it's going to add your calories quicker. So that being said, but you would slowly increase as you get to goal weight. You would slowly increase by 50, calories every 5 to 7 days, slowly increase till you get to a point where you see that you are starting to gain. That means that your deficit then is just a little bit below that then. You have to learn your body. But if you want this keto diet to work for weight loss, you got to understand that high fat does not mean in foods. Too many people get that wrong. And even Dr. Berg will tell you, if you're having trouble and you're not losing weight, then that means you need to lower the fat calories and use your body fat. Even he says it, and that's, I'm sure a lot of you guys know Dr. Berg. He's got over 3 million subscribers, and he knows his keto. So, and I've, also heard Thomas DeLauer and different, other people talk about that, if you're trying to do it for weight loss, why would you eat all the fat? It wouldn't make any sense, and it would take forever, and you would never ever get to a goal weight. And that's why I try to explain that to you guys. And of course, I myself am not a doctor nor a nutritionist, but I bring it to you from professionals that have taught me. I've had pure success. I went into this, almost 40 years old with a bad heart. I developed a heart condition over 22 years ago, or 21 years ago, almost 22. I had the heart of an 83-year-old. I had postpartum cardiomyopathy for 16 years as I was on medications. The heart wasn't really getting any better. It was just improved enough just to keep me stable, but I just was getting everything wrong with me. High cholesterol, high triglycerides, high blood pressure, stomach problems. I had GERD, I had acid reflux, I had PCOS, I had IBS, I had everything. I've eliminated everything out of my body. I don't take any meds except for the heart one that I take. I take one heart med for, it's a beta blocker. I take that to help. And I forgot that there was one more that I take, lisinopril. Now, I do not take that for high blood pressure. My blood pressure has been fine. I used to have it, but my blood pressure, they actually had to lower that pill down because it was lowering the blood pressure too low. I don't take it for that reason. I take it just to regulate the blood flow in my heart, but it's a very super duper low dose. And the doctor said, maybe we could eliminate that out. So we were going to talk about eliminating that out. But I mean, I was on between 20 or over meds for all these different things I had wrong along with my heart. And I improved everything just within months of doing keto. And I was still very obese. I was almost 300 when I started the diet. So still over 200 pounds, and I was being eliminated off all my meds. And I had done many forms of ways of life. I did Richard Simmons, I did the Weight Watchers, I did the South Beach diet, I did a calorie diet, I did everything. And there was one time in the Richard Simmons I had lost a substantial amount of weight, about 114 pounds, and I still couldn't get eliminated off any of my heart meds. My heart got to maybe like 25, 30%. That's it. But now I sit at almost 50%. And that's pretty normal for people. Somebody a little higher than that would be like an athletic person. So, but it's just amazing that I was able to do that. I wish I would have been told that years ago instead of being told to be put on all these meds. That's why I trust doctors, but at the same time, I know that's how they make their money, and that's how the drug industry makes their money, is people need to be on these medications. And I was able to be eliminated off all by eating a healthy way of life. And I didn't go into it eating greasy, processed, horrible foods like a lot of people do in keto, thinking you can just eat all the cheese you want and all the butter you want and all this processed horrible food. No, that's not keto. That is not true keto. Sure, once in a while you can have some processed food, but you want to do more foods at home. If you're going to have something out like a bunless burger, you want to make sure that you don't, in weight loss, you don't do that often, and that you don't get the processed cheese, don't get the processed packs of mayo, don't do any of that, and try not to do that very often. Where I am now, I can do it more often. I still don't get the processed cheese really, maybe once in a while, but I don't get the packs of mayo. I get it from the back so that it's not processed. And, because I'm at maintenance now, so I can eat that, but I make sure it's 100% beef. I don't eat it at McDonald's. I don't do restaurants like that are bad. But Culver's is okay. Burger King is okay. Dairy Queen's okay. What's another one? Dairy Queen, Culver's, Burger King, and Wendy's. Those are all 100% beef, and you just don't want to get the cheese on it. Like I said, if you're in weight loss, if you're where I am, sure, once in a while you can get it, but just really try hard not to eat all that processed food. It's so bad for you. It is so bad. That is not ketogenic. Once in a while is okay, but not all the time. Try to eat foods at home. Try to cook at home. That's why I teach all these, healthy meals that you can eat and how to lower them for you. Because of course I'm in maintenance, so I have to eat higher, but I'm trying to teach you how to lower it, just so that you can get that weight off and get healthy and be healthy. Because like my keto doctor told me, and her doctor, people doing it the way they're doing it, eating that 70 to 90% fat, all the processed food, all the bad fats, are not going to have good health. Later on, it's going to affect their body. They're thinking because they're losing all this weight and everything that they're healthy, but really look at them. Are they truly losing weight? I mean, like the fat off their body, or are they just losing some weight? I mean, if you look at their body, they still have a lot of loose skin, and they, that's why it's not working. You guys have seen, you see in my slideshow in the beginning how I should have skin down to my feet, but I don't, losing that much weight, and I'm losing it that fast, but I didn't because I ate healthy keto. I did it healthy. So I'm just trying to teach you guys the healthy way to do it. Try to stay away from processed foods. Eat whole foods, eggs. In the beginning, do a lot of egg whites if you want to save on fat, but eggs and chicken and fish and seafood, things like that, that are healthier for you to eat. And then as time goes on, then you can add in like the red meats and the steak and that and the butter and the good fats with the oil, the olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, MCT oil for your coffee. That's not for cooking, that's for your coffee. Nuts are a really good fat. Eggs are a really good fat. You can have the real butter. You don't want to eat a margarine. You want to do a real butter, but that's all more for maintenance. Doesn't mean you can't eat it throughout your journey, but just be careful how much you consume because you're not going to get it off quick, especially if you're eating, 3-4 meals a day. You want to try after a while to incorporate intermittent fasting, which is important on keto, at least a 16-hour, but I don't recommend it right away when you first start. Wait a couple months. Wait till your body's good fat adapted, and then you can start, adding in incorporating intermittent fasting, the 16-hour that they recommend. A lot of that you're sleeping, like I said, but try to do 16 hours, and then if you can get up to OMAD, which is 1 meal a day, that's awesome. I do between OMAD and sometimes the warrior diet where I eat in a 4-hour period, and then I go 20 hours without food, and I'm in maintenance, but I get all those calories in that time, but I just eat healthy. So I just want to teach you guys because I want you guys to have true success. I don't want you to have all the loose skin. I don't want you to be losing weight slow, but losing weight, but not losing the fat off your body. You want to lose the fat off your body. That's the main goal of the ketogenic, is a fat burning diet. So burn that fat off your body. Don't burn it by the food you're eating and just burning the food, because then it takes so much longer. You won't reach goal. You will not get there. And that's why people fail. 99% of people will fail at diets. That's why you don't want to call it a diet. You want to call it a way of life, a way of eating. It's what you're going to do the rest of your life. Sure, once in a while you can have a cheat, but make sure you're strong for it. I'm over 4 years in. I've had 9 cheat days. That's it, 9. That's all I've had. And I would have never even done half those. I did it for other people. My husband for holidays, for anniversary, my son, my mom for Thanksgiving, things like that. I would have never done it because I feel like I eat so good that I don't need those foods. And I feel horrible when I go out of ketosis and I cheat and eat off plan. I hate it. I love the way I eat. I love the way I feel. And I want all of you guys to feel the same way and to understand that we, obviously, if we were, very obese and overweight, we had many years of eating bad. Now, and this isn't bad the way we eat. That's what I'm saying. It's still great eating. It's just not bad for you. And obviously we're at a point in our life where we ate all that stuff. So we don't need to think about that anymore. We need to eat to live, not live to eat. You need to change your brain. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to be healthy? God gave you one body. And we shouldn't base it all on food. It shouldn't be food. Yes, we need to eat to live, but you don't need to live to eat. That you don't need to do, And there are so many things that I have made, so many desserts and treats and good foods that you get to eat really good. I've turned almost everything into keto, and I keep teaching all these meals that you can make, and I'm going to continue to make meals and showing you guys everything that you can turn into ketogenic. I hope that this cookbook gets published this year. Hope that this other thing I had talked about goes through. Somebody had reached out to me. I hope that goes through. I would love to get in a magazine. People tell me daily, why are you not in a magazine? You've lost more weight than people. They see these covers and people lose, 20 pounds and they're on the cover. I lost over 160 pounds in 15 months and have maintained that. This March, within just a few days, I am going to be maintaining for 3 years my weight between 128 and 130, 135, depending on if it's that time of the month. But basically, that's where I sit. You guys see me all the time in my outfits of the day. You see me stuff. I can't fake this stuff. I have maintained it for a long time, and I have proved that it's possible to do. And I never feel neglected. I never feel like that I'm not getting what I want or what I love. I don't feel that way. I feel great. My skin looks great. I feel younger and brighter and more vibrant. I feel like a teenager. I want all of you to feel that way and to realize that it shouldn't be about food. Don't let food take over you. You take over it, because that's why we have obese people. Why I lost my father to obesity, because of bad foods out there. Let's not, let's make our president. Let's make America great. Let's make the whole world great. Let's make everybody great. Let's turn that around, that obese rate of people dying young, getting cancers. Well, when you're doing keto, it's hard to get cancer because it needs carbs to grow on. Different things, sicknesses, it needs carbs again. It needs it needs a carb to grow on. The sickness does. So you stay healthier, more vibrant, more happier. People nowadays, my age at 44 are living like they're 60 and 70 years old. I'm living like I'm 16 to 17 years old. I'm living like you're supposed to at my age. At 44, that's not old. I want to enjoy life and have fun. And I know before I started this, I felt like I was 80 years old. I did not feel good. I never wanted to do anything, never wanted to go anywhere. And in fact, I developed panic anxiety disorder from it. So I don't want that life anymore. I want all of you to feel what I feel every day. So just get on board and understand that it should not be about, well, how do you give up the bread? How do you give up the pasta, the rice, and all of that? Well, how do I did it? How I do it is I don't have to see doctors as much now. I don't have to be on all those meds. I don't feel like crap. I love life again now. I don't have all those things wrong with me anymore. I don't have stomach problems. I don't have any of that. So a slice of bread or some pasta doesn't mean more to me than the way I feel. And off of all these meds, drugs have all side effects and things that are bad for you. We're learning every day. We watch a commercial will come up and say, if you were on this drug and and you got cancer from it, call up. I mean, I don't want to be a statistic of one of those people from being on a drug that gave me a bad side effect. I always felt run down and tired from them. They're just horrible just to try to keep you functioning. So let's get on board and remember, again, we eat to live, not live to eat. You had plenty of years, if you were obese for a lot of years, you had plenty of years to eat all that stuff that you thought was good. It wasn't good. Get that out of your brain. It is not good. They make so many things and they're just getting better and better with all the keto stuff they can and all the recipes we can make. And on top of that, I'm sure one day they're going to come out with a keto restaurant. I'm shocked they don't have any keto restaurants. My brother always talked about, my brother Rob, I tell you about, he's always said, God, I want to open up a keto restaurant. We would make a killing, and you would, because keto is so big right now. And everybody is losing weight. Everybody is getting healthy. Even the people doing it wrong, doing it high fat, are still losing it, but they're not going to get to the goal. They're not having, they're having all that loose skin, and they're not losing all the true fat they could lose. But just saying, it works for everybody, and I want everybody to get healthy. So just get on board, get on that keto train with me, and enjoy your life. Start loving your life again. Because no food in the world should ever, consume us. And it did. For many years, for at least 20 years, it took my life over from me. I'll never let that happen again. I want to be healthy, and I love the foods I eat. I mean, tell me, looking at this, like I say in every video, does that slice of burger, hamburger, or bacon, cheeseburger look like you wouldn't want to eat it, or a child wouldn't want to eat it in a salad? It's delicious. I just don't have the bun. It's a pizza. I don't have the crust, but I can make a crust. So, oh, this is so yummy. This one is really good. They both were really good in themselves. But this one, I don't know, I have that bacon cheeseburger taste. I love it. Another one that you could do is, like I told you, use a red sauce and just do pepperoni and cheese for a child. They would love it. And if you want, like the crust, I'm saying, then do it with almond flour for your child. Make an almond flour crust and then dress it up however you want as a pizza. I'll do an almond flour crust pizza one day because I haven't done one. So I will do one for you guys. I love the onions on this and the pickles and the mustard. Again, even in maintenance, I measure everything out. So when I show you guys, like when you saw this slideshow yesterday, I'm telling you, the measuring cups you need, the amounts to use, everything should be measured, even in maintenance mode, because it's so easy to go over those calories. So you want to go to the dollar store, it's cheap. Go to the dollar store and get a measuring cup, get measuring cups, get measuring spoons, get yourself one of the liquid measuring cups, and then go to Walmart and buy a scale. You can buy even a cheap one. And measure, 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 because it's so easy to go over. Even seasoning, seasonings, when you hear me say heavily pink salt, well, the reason I say heavily is this is a diuretic way of life. So you want to get that pink salt in. That'll never hurt you. You cannot retain on pink or sea salt. Table salt, knock that out of your life. It is horrible for you. It's dirty and it's bad for you and you will retain fluid. But if you do the pink salt or the sea salt, that's what you need and you won't retain with it. And don't be afraid. My body retained it. I was on water pills, you know, to reduce fluid because of my heart condition. Once I started keto, I had to get off of those because I was going to the bathroom way too much. Way too much, because it's a diuretic way of life. That's what happens to it. Gets rid of inflammation and fluid all the time. So that's why I always say heavily pink salt. Now, I know you don't want to go too much, but I'm just saying when you salt your foods, heavily salted, and try to do at least 4,000 milligrams of sodium a day, not just in the salt shaker, in foods. But if you wake up one day and you're feeling weak, fatigued, tired, dizzy, just off, those are signs of an electrolyte drop. So what you could do then is take some water. It's like a bottle of water and you add a tablespoon of the pink salt or sea salt to it and drink it down. If you don't like it like that, you could add it in a Powerade Zero. I'll do it in that. Or I'll do it in like that Mio, in a glass of, you know, a bottle of water. I'll add some Mio in that because then it's like sweet and salty and it's a lot easier to get it in. But that's what Dr. Berg says to do. And you could do it like that. The pink salt. And if you're having cramping and stuff, that means that your potassium's low. Then you can also add in what's called no salt. That's just what you buy in the seasoning aisle. It's called no salt. That's potassium. So you could add a tablespoon of that and a tablespoon of the pink salt, put it in that, you know, Mio flavored water or in a Powerade if you don't like just plain water, and drink it down and you'll feel better within just an hour or so. It just means that your electrolytes are dropped. So don't be afraid. When I say heavily pink salt, heavily salt your food, not to the point where you can't stand it because it's too salty. I just mean heavier than the other seasonings like the pepper and the seasonings that I talk about, because all seasonings have carb. If you go over, they have carbs. People season it so heavy. They season things so heavy, not realizing because it says 0, but there's like probably 200, 300 servings in one that people don't realize what a serving is. And that's why it becomes carbs then, and people don't understand. Just like eggs say 0, they're a 0.5 for a half an egg. I mean, for one egg. So for 2 eggs, it would be 1 carb. Cheese, most cheeses like the block cheese says 0. They are not 0. They're a 0.6. And people, that's where they're not adding that. And that's why they're just going over that carb enough where they think, well, I ate all that stuff. It was 0. Well, what happened? Just like pork rinds. Unless you get the plain pork rinds, every pork rind is made with the wrong ingredients in it. Like that maltodextrin, I think it's called. That one is the horrible one, and that's in a lot of those pork rinds with the seasoning on them, and they're saying 0. They're not 0 if it has seasoning on it. They just are not, and that's why people are getting kicked. So the plain pork rinds are the best to go with, or look at the ingredients on certain ones. But basically, I tell people just to do the plain pork rinds because the other ones have the wrong ingredients in it. If you want to season your own pork rinds, buy the plain ones and season them up yourself. You know, heat it up in the oven while they're hot. Add a little bit of just a tad of oil, maybe a little bit of oil, just so they're wet like that. Mix around and add your own seasoning to it. Do it like that, and that way you can know what you're putting on it. That way they get seasoned up, or you can put hot sauce on them. I've done them, you know, doing the butter and cinnamon and sugar. They were really good that way. There's different ways to do it. That way you're doing it yourself and not, you know, getting the ones that are bought because they got the wrong ingredients in it. That will kick you right out of ketosis. And the maltodextrin, I hope I'm saying that right, is definitely 100% not keto. That is worse than sugar. It is. It will spike your insulin so fast. It is so bad for you. And Splenda is one that is made with that. And a lot of people think Splenda is good for you. Stay away from Splenda. You want stevia, erythritol, or monk fruit. Those are the ones to use. Now, some diet sodas that aren't stevia have the sucralose or the aspartame. A lot of people can do the aspartame as long as that's all that's in it. But the sucralose, some people get knocked from that because those two are just not the right sugars. But it's okay once in a while to have a diet soda. Just be careful. But try to get the stevia because that's the right one. Learn to read ingredients. You want to read ingredients and find out what's all in these things because there's so many things in things. You want the lowest ingredients is the better. Things that you find that are made would be the lowest in ingredients would be the best. This is delicious. I love doing these videos. I love teaching. I know sometimes I'm repetitive and I repeat myself a lot, but that's because I get new people all the time and I want them to understand true keto. I love when I get people that come in and say, I have been binge watching your videos and I'm sticking with you. You make perfect sense. I ain't trying to be this, you know, keto guru or the keto police or let you guys know that, hey, I know everything and nobody else knows what they're talking about. I just really do know what I'm talking about because I was taught professionally and I bring real proof to the table. And when you see my body too, that you see there isn't a lot of fat hanging and stuff like that, that's another proof that I eat very healthy keto. And that's what I want for you guys. And you know, you want to try to do grass-fed, organic if you can afford it. But if you can't, just try to stay away from processed and dirty foods. You don't want to do dirty or lazy keto. That is not healthy at all. It just isn't, you know. But I am not trying to come in here and act like I know it all. But I must know something because here I am almost 3 years in maintaining this weight. Feeling great. Off all these heart meds, off all these meds. I mean, I had a heart condition, you guys, and I've pretty much almost cured it. So I know what I'm talking about because I didn't go into this without being taught professionally. I wanted to know professionally how to do this and do it correctly. That's another thing. You want to go into this way of life 100% dedicated, or you'll fail. You won't succeed. You want to go in, I say 110%. So, I hope you guys are enjoying my videos. I am doing my best to do at least 5 to 7 videos a week. This week I got my 7 up this week. But like I said, you may get one slideshow and then the next day the same, you know, meal that I made, the same slideshow, I'm doing a video on it. But in those videos, I'm just chatting with you guys and teaching. So, and letting you know how good this meal was that I made. So, that was absolutely delicious. Bacon, cheeseburger, hamburger, pizza. No, I just said bacon, cheeseburger. I said burger. So bacon, cheeseburger, pizza. Absolutely delicious. And like I said, if you don't want the hamburger to be your crust, you can use almond flour to be your crust and then make your bacon cheeseburger by using your hamburger as little pieces of hamburger then broken up on it and all the same ingredients. And it would just be a little bit more carbier that way. Just a tiny bit if you're using almond flour. I think it would add 2 more carbs per serving. I think it would, or for the whole pizza, I think it would add, yeah, the whole pizza, because I think you would only need a cup of almond flour. I think that would make, yep, that would make a crust. So it would add like 2 more carbs. So if it was 9, it'd be 10, 11, it'd be 11 for the entire pizza, and you're splitting that 4 ways. So, and then if you do the flatbread and you use half of that, remember a whole one is like 12. 12 after net, it's 12 carbs. So a half of one is 6. So you're going to add 6 to, you know, like your 5 carbs or 6 carbs, whatever you have. So it'll be a little bit more carbier. So just be careful and make sure that that's an OMAD meal or that's like maybe 2 meals that day. I really like this one, and I really like the root beer. I can't wait to taste the cream soda because I love cream soda too. I can't wait to taste it. I found out that one didn't have caffeine because some God, all of a sudden I had a brain fart. Some cream sodas have caffeine in them, and I don't do caffeine. I'm sure I can now because my heart's improved. It was because of my heart I couldn't do caffeine, but I've went 20 some years not doing caffeine. So now if I do a little bit of caffeine, even just a tiny little bit, I get a headache. Just like people that drink caffeine are without their caffeine, they get a headache. So I feel there's no reason to have it. Caffeine, excuse me, isn't even good for you. So I don't do caffeine. So Zevia, strawberry, yum. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned some more. If you are new to my channel, if you could do me a favor, right down there is the red subscribe button. You know, please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the bell underneath it. You'll be notified of all of my uploads so you don't miss nothing. Please, if you could help me, since I do all of this for free, on top of doing all of it for free, I go even a step farther. Down below, I link my email. If you need help and need to understand keto even more and want to be set up on a macro plan because you don't understand it, I can set you up. I have set up over 1,000 people and helped over 1,000 people do true keto and get their weight off or getting their weight off or, you know, starting off and it's just coming off like crazy. They're all doing really well. So I do the extra help for free if you need it. My email's down below and I'll teach you that and I'll set you up in a macro plan. Everybody's different. I have to ask some personal questions, but I can set you up. So if you could do me a favor, since I do all of this for free, if you could share around my channel, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, word of mouth, however you can to help my channel to grow. Because the more, you know, the more my channel grows, the more people that comes in, the more people I can help the bigger the channel gets, just the more I get out there and the more I can help people, because it is such a passion of mine. Excuse me, I hate when I'm drinking soda and I'm trying to eat. It's just my passion, and the more people I can help, the happier I am. It just truly makes me happy inside. And, I am monetized, so I, don't get paid a lot just through my videos. When you have advertisement, the commercials on there, once we hit like $100 threshold, which takes a few months. Some people can do it faster. It takes a little longer depending on how many people view my channel, how long you view it. Like the longer you view, like if you give me a full view, you view the whole thing, that really helps me. But it does take time. It takes months and months for certain people to reach the $100 threshold, and then you get that paid, and then it starts over at 0 again. And that's just from AdSense. So if you could help me that way too, that's another way to help me too, is those commercials that come on, maybe you might be interested in one of them to watch or whatever, but, fully view my channel and hit the thumbs up. That helps my channel grow as well. And it helps different things, and it helps me, because $100, every so many months or whatever it takes to get it, really isn't a lot of money, but it does help out, because I have to buy all these foods and I have to do all these videos. And so it does help me out a little bit. That would help me too. So that would be wonderful if you could help me out and view, I know I make some of these videos kind of long, but you guys said that you enjoy them. You enjoy watching me, and it's peaceful, and I'm glad that you guys enjoy that. So other than that, again, just shoot me a thumbs up if you liked this video and you enjoyed it. If you did try this pizza and you loved it, then definitely let me know. And down below, let me know if there's something you'd like me to try to recreate and turn it into keto. Send me a message on it, and I will do my best, because I'm pretty smart when it comes to recreating keto, because I know my keto. Other than that, I hope everybody's doing well. Everybody take care. God bless, and I'll see each and every one of you in my very next upload. And always remember, everybody, to keep it keto.